Hey everybody, it's Miss Goding here. I just wanted to send you a video to explain a little bit about our sound boot camp that we are doing here in the Coral Reef. So yesterday we started our sound boot camp, which is focusing on the Jolly Phonics curriculum. This curriculum, as you noticed the other day, does not go in ABC order, but it puts an emphasis on sounds that kiddos will see in their environment the most or more often. So the first few letters that we've done were S and A, or S and A. And tomorrow we'll do T for T because that's another common one that kids will see. Eventually, as we start learning our sounds, the program puts them in an order where kiddos can start blending those sounds together to hear words, which is going to help them with their reading and writing down the line. We as a kindergarten team have started the Jolly Phonics curriculum last year, and we saw amazing results with kiddos reading and writing and being able to recognize words and put sounds together and build their own words and read words, and they grew as readers and writers. So I'm so excited to be able to do that again this year and add on to it and do more than I did last year where we were piloting it. So to give you a little rundown of what we do, each day we have a brand new sound, and I refer to it as a sound of the day, not a letter of the day, because we want kiddos to be able to look at a letter and recognize the sound of it. When they go to read, when they're looking at the letter S, we don't want them to say S, we want them to say S. So giving them that initial start of being able to recognize the letter and say S. Now, how do you spell that letter? Oh, with the letter S. That's the way that I'm approaching each sound and letter every day. So they are not going to be in ABC order, but don't fear. We will get through all 26 letters of the alphabet, and then there'll be some other sounds in there too. And they might seem tricky, and they might seem like they're not kindergartner friendly, but we go through all of the sounds of the alphabet, and then intertwined through there are 42 sounds, so there are 42 days of our sound boot camp. There will be trickier sounds tossed in. We'll learn them as sounds. We'll learn them, this is how we write them, and this is how you might see them. And you'll be amazed at what your kiddos will be able to start reading and picking up in no time at all. And when we get there, I'll update you again on the trickier sounds that we hear. But as our ABC boot camp goes along, today we learned the sound ah. So each sound has a story that goes with it in a big book through the Jolly Phonics program that has pictures of things that start with ah. So we go on an I Spy hunt looking through the story to try and find things that start with the beginning sound ah. After that, we have emotion. So the emotion is probably the key piece to the program. So each sound has emotion. Today it's ah. There are ah, ah, there are ants on her arm. There's a little girl at a picnic with her family, and the ants crawl up her arm. So she's going, ah, ah. So if I today showed the kiddos this motion, they were able to give me the sound just like that. And then I would say, and how do we spell that? They said with the letter A. After the motion, we listen to a song. There's a song for each sound that we'll hear. And today it was ah, ah, ants on my arm, ah, ah, ants on my arm, ah, ah, ants on my arm, they're causing me alarm. So it's a little rhyme to go with it. The whole program itself is multisensory, which means that there's music involved, there's movement, there's pictures to go along with the words in the story, and then I also add in body movement on how we form the letters by becoming skywriters. Skywriters are where we stand up and we use our whole body to make the letters. So we put our hands up high because we always start our letters at the top. And today we said big line, slide down, back to the top, big line, slide down, little line to make our A. And then we did the same thing for lowercase as well. So kiddos are up, they're moving around, they're listening to songs, they have visuals to go along with it, and then they get to be my helpers and brainstorm pictures and words that go on our own a story map, basically, of pictures that start with the sound ah or have ah in it. And what was amazing to me today was kiddos were recognizing words that have ah in the middle. So they're recognizing it as a sound and not just as the letter, which is super helpful along the way. Something that you can do at home that I sent home today in your kiddos folder, so keep an eye out for it. Now, we don't have homework in kindergarten, and I'm very hold true to that, but as a way for the home to school connection to be to be stronger, there is a worksheet, ta-da, in your kiddo's folder that looks a little something like this. I didn't get one out for S, so I'm sorry, but we have one for A today. Day 2, not doing too bad. But this worksheet explains to you, the parent, the guardian, what we are doing in class and what the kiddo learned today. At the top, it has the letter that we learned. There's a picture that goes along with the picture that was in our storybook. And then here, it shows the motion. So this is the little girl with, there are ants on my arm. I told the kids today that if they went home, they found somebody to teach it to, because at school, I'm always the teacher. When they went home, they could find a mom, a dad, grandma, grandpa, brother, or sister to teach them our new sound, show them the motion, show them how we build our letter. And they came back and they completed the worksheet, that they would get a sticker up on the top of their worksheet. This just shows me that they took the time at home to teach somebody else or to go over it with you. So I do encourage you to take a look in your child's folder and find this page in there and ask them about it. Have them teach you. See what they remember. Down below the picture, there's then a line of the letter of the day that we learned. So A, Jolly Phonics focuses on lowercase letters because you mostly see lowercase print out there. I teach both upper and lowercase on the same day. We practice writing it with our handwriting curriculum, but through the Jolly Phonics program, they use lowercase. So on this page, you will just see lowercase letters aside from the uppercase that's telling you what sound or what letter it is for the day. So they get to trace and then practice on their own, and then the line below is review. So it's the letter A from today and the letter S from yesterday. Then down below, there are 4 pictures. One does not match. One does not start with A. Now, I know ant is not so much an A sound, but ant was in our story, so hopefully they'll recognize it as starting with an A. And then at the bottom over here on the side, there's an S and an A. These are just the sounds right now. So the dot underneath means that the kiddo touches it and says S. And then you can say, and what letter is that? It's S. Down at the bottom, we want them to touch it and say, what letter is that? That's A. Eventually, as we move on, we'll move into blending sounds together by just simply looking at the motion. So for example, right now we know 2 sounds, so we could build the word as. So if I went like this, the kids would say and then if I went like this, they would say s. So together it'd be as. And so then, as we move forward, we can play a game, one of my favorites, charades with them. So I give them 3 motions and they build the sound, they build the word. So there's lots that we can do with the program. There's lots that we can do with Jolly Phonics and the connection at home. Now again, this is 100% optional. You don't have to do it. Even if you don't get to do it that night, that's totally fine. You could look at it later with your kiddo just as a way of review. But this year I'm hoping to make a stronger home-to-school connection with the Jolly Phonics program because there are lots of pieces that can be sent home. Eventually they'll get a sound book, and soon after they'll get almost kind of like a little word booklet that they can practice writing words from the sounds that they hear. So that's just a little overview of Jolly Phonics. I thought it would be easier to explain it in person than over a worded message. But Jolly Phonics is here for a little bit longer. Our sound boot camp is just underway. We have 42 sounds to go, so we have 2 in, we have 40 left. So we'll be working hard on those sounds, working hard on listening to the sounds that we hear in words and seeing them in print around us. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. I would love to chat with you about it. If you want to know what else you can do with your kiddo at home, I am more than welcome to give you information or ideas for that as well. So have a great night, everybody.